there's been a lot of people out there, oh God, they're going broke. No, we're not. We're just restructuring. We had an LOI for 650 units, invested $11 million in a shop downtown, $8 million in inventory. They ran out of money, couldn't pay us, and then it was like, oh man. For the last 4 years, I've shit blood, thrown up acid, been through absolute hell. I'll be honest with you, I got some people in this world that I just can't stand. And I would not bear my stress on them or my worst enemy. Nobody understands. They say, oh, Cameron, this, Cameron, that. You don't have a fucking clue. Everybody's like, Cameron, you're gonna have a heart attack, you're gonna have a stroke. I was willing to die for this. This is my passion. God only gives you what you can handle, and I'm done, I was taking a shit one day, and I looked down on my Instagram, and
there it was.
I was like, shit, that's a picture of me. Whoa, that business drone. I just deleted them. I just unfollowed them. I love the grind. I love being the underdog. I've been an underdog my entire life. That's a difficult question. I'd have gotten rid of a lot of people way sooner than I did. Man, I can't wait to change people's lives, and I can't wait to show all the people that didn't believe in us and hate on us, said we weren't gonna make it, blah, blah. I've got more haters in my own city than I do around the entire world. I built Rockstar Energy and Hell on Wheels and did stuff with Guy Fieri, who's a friend of mine. I got to do a TV show and get paid to travel. I'm sorry that I do cool shit because I work my ass off and I provide my opportunities. Whether it's Super Bowl, World Cup, something we built is usually always there, but I absolutely love what I do. And if you're not happy doing what you do, make the fucking change.
Cool, man. So we're here, ready to launch the podcast, right? This is like the pre-episode before the actual podcast starts. I think this would give the people opportunity to get to know you and a little bit about like what you're doing and what we're doing here for Built for the Hustle. So tell me about you and what you're doing here at Cruisin' Kitchens.
What we're doing here at Cruisin' Kitchens, it's a rebuild, it's a restructure. We've rebranded, we've relocated. It's a fresh start. There's been a lot of people out there, oh God, they're going broke. No, we're not. We're just restructuring. It's very easy. It's a game of chess, not checkers. Cruisin' Kitchens builds more mobile assets than anybody in the world, right? We've added a new feature to our business called the Industrialized Build, which is basically allows us to build brick and mortar kitchens inside our manufacturing facility, be the governing power, and it trumps all municipalities. So on top of the mobile, we now have a modular, which is great. And I think it's the future. I think numbers will align to where, the mobile side will be about a fourth of our total business going into 2026 and 27.
Tell me a little bit about how you started and how it's kind of gone to that point.
When I saw what we did for Tesla, so Tesla was going to be a 3-year project. They were going to build a huge 4,500 square foot commercial kitchen. And they came to us and like, man, it's going to take too long. So we literally did the conceptual drawings, built the entire kitchen, did it under a modular permit, put it in place, and did it in 16 weeks. And we did 12 shipping containers that made a 4,000 square foot kitchen. They feed, anywhere from 2,000 to 10,000 people a day out of that kitchen. And if you started inside that kitchen and didn't see the exterior shipping containers, you would have never known that it was built out of shipping containers. Saw that, I was like, man, there's gotta be something to this. And then, everybody started cracking down on what people call an inhabited structure. An inhabited structure is anything that you live in, work in, or, storage that you walk in and out of. And when municipalities started governing that, they started shutting things down. And so now it's good. You have to have this certification, which in Texas is a TDLR, which is Texas Department of Licensing and Regulatory, and go through all the proper protocols. So we're finishing our third small sliders, which now gives us the ability to do everything in-house.
But it's not been easy. Everything that you've gone through, it's just been a journey.
It has been a journey, and everything in the last 4 years has been a journey, but this has been great. So yes, it costs about $300,000. It's been 1,600 man hours. It's taken, almost a year and a half to get it, but we have it. And like I said, we're finishing our third smalls, and after that's off to the races. We're already working with huge clients. I mean, like I said, this is a QSR, so this is a drive-through. Sometimes they'll have a small exterior footprint, but it's in and out. When Chick-fil-A has to open the store and have an interior footprint, it takes 8 additional employees. You have to have greeters, you have to have people that clean, you have to have people that refill sodas, people that take condiments, things like that. So these restaurant chains can do the exact same volume for, again, way quicker entry into the market. The cost is about a third of a traditional brick and mortar. The volume's the same, which again drives much higher profits.
As far as business is concerned and what you've gone through as a business as Cruisin' Kitchens, it's been a lot of ups and downs. Tell me a little bit about what's happened in the past and all the things that you've gone through to get to where you are today.
Ever since Casey and I got married, 15 years ago, there's been a project, there's been a grind. But, we were killing it. We were doing great. We entered into a contract with Reef Technologies. We had an LOI for 650 units. We had completed 200 of those units, invested $11 million in a shop downtown, $8 million in inventory, because, we were in a pandemic. And during the pandemic, you have to forecast. It's not like your everyday orders where you can just walk in and order 100 pieces of stainless steel or 50 roof mount ACs. We had to forecast, so we bought 800 ACs, 4,000 pieces of stainless steel, all kinds of hot water heaters, water pumps, just everything that we need, so we could keep up with the volume that Reef was, promising us. Right. Fast forward, end of the year, we finished 75 trailers in a month, which was 40 traditional builds and 35 Wendy's. Did it all, couldn't pay us for it. And, I stepped in and got some of the other builders paid because, I didn't want people to go out of business. Unfortunately, I'm one of very few builders that made it through them. They canceled their lease there at the building, which was kind of the writing on the wall. They ran out of money, couldn't pay us. And then it was like, oh man, now I've got an $11 million building. I got all this inventory at 120 employees. And me being too nice and at that point vulnerable, I kept people on too long. And it caused, a bunch of financial issues. Anyway, did a deed in lieu of foreclosure with Blue Sky Bank, moved everything over to Mannix, sold Mannix, moved downtown. That facility didn't work out, so now we're back at Midlix, and it's basically been an absolute journey. But, the thing that people don't know, and that's why I love when people talk shit, is in 2021, I had the opportunity to walk away with 22 to 30 million. Probably more on the 24, 25 million and never have to work a day again in my life, do what I want to do, but this is what I love to do. And it wouldn't have been fair. I stood up for my employees. Like if I would have sold, I'd be drinking Mai Tais on the beach, traveling around, doing, like I said, what I want to do, but it wouldn't be fair because the people that helped get me there would be without jobs. Right. Because I knew, it was a liquidation. It was like me to sell all my assets, my real estate, everything. And now those same people that I fought for have been fighting for me, and now we're here.
How did that feel to go through all that? I mean, like to be at a position where you had all those people depending on you, like what did that feel like?
It's horrible. For the last 4 years, I've shit blood, throwing up acid, been through absolute hell. But I've got an amazing work family. I got an amazing family at home, and I lean on them to get me through the day. But man, I'll be honest with you, I got some people in this world that I just can't stand. And I would not bear my stress on them or my worst enemy. It's chaotic, but I also feel that God only gives you what you can handle, and I'm done, But now I see the light at the tunnel, and I honestly think it was God testing me before He blesses me. And we're at that point, man. We've got a lot of stuff coming in, a lot of really cool projects, not just on the mobile side, but on the industrial modular side. We're starting a new, arm of cruising kitchens called Podular. So it's basically pods and modular put together, so it's Podular. Really excited about that, and a lot of other projects. We're building a 7-acre food park right behind Buc-ee's in New Braunfels, which is going to be kick-ass. Cool. Hell on Wheels is going to be out there, the Palm Republic trailer. We're going to have a modular mobile bar. It's just going to be kick-ass.
You touched on it a little bit earlier, but it sounds like all these things are happening and it's great, but there's a bankruptcy happening as well. How did that happen, and how does that play into it, and what's going on with that? Because I know people are scared of it, but it's like...
I use the word restructure. I like that word better because restructure is basically what it is. I mean, I've come in, and over the last 2 years, I've been restructuring the company anyway, getting it to where it's back to being cash flow positive. Got out from under a huge lease, downtown, which I was paying $100,000 a month, where my mortgage here is $13,000 a month for this big, beautiful building where I can do the boxing, the fitness, the video production, and the manufacturing all under one roof. Having 4 buildings was a nightmare, man. I had to drive around. Basically, half my day was spent going in and checking on buildings. Everything's now under one roof. And so, man, everything in life does happen for a reason. And it has been an absolute battle. Again, nobody understands. Right. They say, oh, Cameron, this, Cameron. You don't have a fucking clue how hard this has been. Again, man, I don't know many people, and I'm not trying to toot my horn, they could have made it through it. Yeah. Even my attorneys, my doctors, everybody's like, Cameron, you're gonna have a heart attack, you're gonna have a stroke. Look, man, and I told y'all, like I was willing to die for this. This is my passion. Cruising Kitchens is everything to me. These people are my family, and being able to tell our story now through this podcast is gonna let people understand, man, it's not easy. Yeah. And I love keyboard typing motherfuckers because they're saying, all right, you don't have a clue. Right. You've never run a business, and I say this. People that bitch the most do the least. And that's not only at Cruising Kitchens. Right. Trust me, I see it here.
Right.
But that's just in life in general.
Yeah.
There's haters everywhere. I mean, if somebody is typing or commenting, whether it's negative or positive, it's still giving you exposure. You know, I love it. I can't tell you how many bills I've picked up because somebody's like, oh, Cruising Kitchens, they suck, blah, blah. And they're like, well, let me look at it. And they say, what's up, man? And then we come in and we build them a dope ass project. So it's just, and then you have just
the media.
The media. The media, okay, my essay, Business Journal, all these people that, you know, you give money to write good stories, or they come and write good stories and blah, da, 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 da. Well, I actually haven't given them an opinion because I think they're all full of shit. Right. But, you know, they come in, they act like they're going to write their story, and then they blast you. Right. And it's like, why don't you write about positive things anymore? Because everybody wants negative press. That's what they want to see, and that's all they're going to do. So they expose people. Like, you know, people I know that are going through the same situation. They've just been crushed in the media. Yeah. And I stay away from it. I don't read it. I was taking a shit one day, and I looked down on my Instagram, and
there it was.
I was like, shit, that's a picture of me. Whoa, that Business Journal. I just deleted them. You know, I just unfollowed them. And that's it. You know, everybody, did you read it? No, I don't read it because I know the truth. The media's 90% full of shit.
From all the media that you've seen, what did they get right and what did they get wrong?
I didn't read any of it.
There you go. There you go.
So they got it all wrong. I can't answer that.
True.
There's no need. Like, I know the true story. It's a restructure. It's a rebrand. We're relocating. We've got plenty of work to build it right back. The industrialized build will get us the wealth that we had back in, you know, no time. So again, why read it? Yeah. Why, you know, I used to get so intimidated and get all frustrated. My wife would be like, why do you even care? Yeah. And now that's what I preach to my team. It's like, don't even read it. Don't care. Right. You know, again, what does it matter? You know the truth. We're a family here. Yeah. We have production meetings every other day. Everybody knows exactly what we're going through, whether it's what build's going on, what financially, what we're doing in a cool way. Like Kid Austin's fighting April 11th. I'm going to have all my people there. Like, we're a family, so we truly have these conversations that most businesses just don't have.
Do you read the comments? Do you read any of that stuff? Any like the feedback?
Comments I do. Like if 90% of the engagement that's done for my page is me. And people are like, hey, you have somebody? No, it's me. Like, I want to read. I want to know. I don't get mad anymore. I laugh. There's one guy, man, he's got like 4 or 5 profiles, and I can tell because the motherfucker can't spell. So it's like, he's been gone for a couple months, so I haven't seen him. But like, he types, and I just, you know, blow him a kiss or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, man, the engagement's me. I like to stay in tune to what people think. You know, a lot of people are really getting behind this built for the hustle, which I love. And, you know, that's kind of why we're doing and going the direction we are with the podcast, you and I, because it's like we've seen the exposure and, you know, the happiness that Built for the Hustle has brought people. You know, there's laughter, there's drama, there's really cool builds, there's giveaways. So we basically hit a lot of different demographics. And I think that that's the goal behind this podcast, is to be raw, uncensored, and literally uncut, man. Like, the people I want on are all going to be bosses. They're going to be people that I've dealt with, or even some that I haven't dealt with, but that I feel just have a cool story and are doing cool shit.
I don't know if people know that when they're watching the social media, I'm the one behind the camera, but I really do see you do all these things. This is all like real. There's nothing scripted, and we're just, you know, really getting you doing all the things that you do. What drives you to do that? I mean, you're literally going from one thing to the other.
Family. It's easy. Family.
Right.
You know, my belief in, you know, Jesus Christ. I mean, you know, without him, none of this is possible to start with. But then, you know, my family, my home family, and my family here. You know, I drop my kids off at school, my daughter off at 6:30, and then I come to work. I get more done in that hour before I work out at 7:30. You know, I say the physical part helps the mental. Why do I do it? Because I absolutely love it. I love the grind. I love being the underdog. I've been an underdog my entire life. What people don't realize is I was old for my age, and when I was a freshman, I was 4'11" and a half and weighed 95 pounds. Right. And so it's just like, you know, I was an underdog, but I was athletic. You know, I could have played college baseball, but I didn't because I wanted to pursue other things and go to college and have a life. And I've always been an entrepreneur, man. I started a lawn mowing business when I was 11 years old and paid up for all of my stuff. Did extracurricular activities in college to make money. And, you know, just always basically been dependent on myself, if that makes sense.
We talked about all these issues that happen and all this, the bumps in the road. I think what people really want to know is, like, what do you feel you did wrong, or what is it that you would have done different?
I mean, that's a difficult question. I think what I could have done different is made some difficult decisions earlier than I did when it comes to people that I considered were friends. I think that I could have let people collect unemployment sooner than I did when Reef ran out of money and couldn't pay us. but more than anything, I'd have gotten rid of a lot of people way sooner than I did. You know, you learn and you have this fear that when somebody leaves, oh my God, it's going to be so hard without them. No, it's not.
Right.
It's not, man. And, you know, I should have restructured this company a long time ago. And I'm not trying to toot my horn, but now that I've been back in control, 8 months, this company's operating better than it ever has. Mario's been the president of operations, which means he's handling the floor and doing just a bang up job. And so, it allows me to have the freedom to be up here and work with Charles. I mean, I spend probably 70% of my day with Charles doing badass renderings for clients, quoting these things, and then Chase on the sales side downstairs is putting his, he's taking the inbound lead generation, a lot of our other clients and working through that stuff. So I truly do feel that in the first quarter of 2026, we'll do as much as we did in 2025. And that's from hard work, man. And that's through going through everything we're doing. What people don't realize is, man, I'm on the phone with my attorneys right now, probably 4 hours a day. Meanwhile, trying to do sales, handle meetings, do all this. If I'm in a meeting for an hour, that usually means I have 50 emails I got to get back to, probably 30 or 40 text messages and 10 or 15 calls. Like, it's nonstop. Yeah. You've been around it, you see it. You said you're the one on the other side of the camera when we're doing Built for the Hustle, and these other things that we do on a day-to-day basis to show people content to let them know truly what we're doing. And dude, it's nonstop. Yeah. I had to turn off everything in here to make it to where I can do this interview because it's crazy. It's chaotic.
It really
but I signed up for it. I'm not complaining about it. It's better than the alternative, that phone not ringing or those emails not coming in. So
that's true. Back to what you were saying, how you kept people longer than you should have. A lot of companies and a lot of startups, they're always like, family. You try to build that environment to make a successful company, and I think you can get taken advantage of in that mindset, right?
Yeah.
Which is weird because you've actually built a family that is actually
But I built
real.
a true family.
Exactly.
So everybody who's here is a true family.
But that process isn't always that
One
easy.
of my favorite tattoos on my body is related by blood, family by loyalty.
Right.
And that is completely true. You're related, you're blood. You're related to somebody. You're born into that family.
Yeah.
But, by loyalty, like that, it's a lot. And people that have stayed from 2021 to now 2026, they're family. And we're like the Green Bay Packers. We all own this pitch now. And man, I can't wait to change people's lives. And I can't wait to show all the people that didn't believe in us and hate on us, said we weren't gonna make it, blah, blah, to eat crow. Look, my essay, Business Journal, all these outlets, all y'all that wrote these stories, come back. Let's do a story in 2027. Right. Oh, but wait, you don't want to because you don't want feel good.
Right.
During this, we've maintained giving vehicles away and doing stuff that companies that were in financial troubles just wouldn't have done.
Yeah.
We're able to give Xavier a van. We were able to, build a pizza truck through CBC, the church, for Chang's Pizza. Like, there's been a lot that we've done, and people didn't realize, because I don't want to be out there going, hey, I need help. No, I'm going to fight. One day you'll see it.
Right.
And now you're going to see all the cool stuff we're doing.
Right.
Like, now we're under one building. This is like Disneyland for adults. We have everything that you want. Right. Nick got married here. We routed it. Mario's daughter had her quinceañera here. Like, this place, we did Brawl Wall with Paul Wall. We've brought Kid Austin up in here, who's fighting for the WBA world title April 11th. Like, it's just crazy. As a main event at the AT&T Center in San Antonio.
And how do you manage all those things? Like, from boxing to, sports to music to, builds to video and media.
Badass people. Obviously, you run Camaro Media. Jeff and Paula help run the boxing side. Mario's running a hell of a floor. I've got Charles in here and Brian that do these badass renderings. Chase is handling sales. John, the accountant, just basically does a little bit of everything. And then my crew. Bang up, print it. But then, my job is to hold it all together. But right now, my focus, probably 7% of my focus has to be Cruising Kitchens. Cruising Kitchens, is our bread and butter. And Cruising Kitchens in the past has allowed us to do what we've done on the entertainment side and things like that. Now what we do, everything has to be for profit. Nothing's for free anymore. If somebody wants video content or something like that, or still shots, it goes through you at Camaro Media. If somebody wants to, have it be on a boxing card, you're going to get paid. You're paid to be on a boxing card. I can't do that. My focus right now is, to be honest with you, is Kid Austin. Kid Austin is like a brother to me. I've helped raise him since he was 17, and we are at a point in his career where we're the best in the world, and we're going to showcase that.
How did that happen? If you finding Kid Austin.
Man, I knew who Kid was. I had seen him fight in Austin one time. I was like, man, that kid is unbelievable. Never thought that I'd have the opportunity to get him. So we were doing a fight here at Davies Event Center, and I get a call from Freeway Ricky Ross, the real Freeway Ricky Ross. He's like, look, I want to pay to put this Kid Austin on the fight. And I was like, okay, act like I didn't know who he was. Well, then Pops, his dad, comes in and we hit it off and he's like, man, what if we sign with you? I'm like, well, you sign with me. You don't have to pay to be on this card. I can tell you that. So we got him 4 fights in less than a year, got worldwide recognition, got him, the 10-0, that kind of where you popped the cherry spot. Golden Boy came to me, Oscar and De La Hoya and Bernard, and they're like, dude, we got to talk. And then Eric Gomez came in and facilitated a hell of a deal through Golden Boy and Davies Entertainment. And it basically allowed me to keep, half of his career. Golden Boy had the other half. And, Kid's dad and Mike Miller to be the managers and Golden Boy and myself to be the promoters. And I love it, man. I absolutely love it. And there
he's
comes
an
a
amazing
point.
fighter. I mean,
yeah, he's amazing. And he's a great kid. Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't do any of that. Soil of the earth. And, people can talk shit about his dad. But you know about Kid Austin because his dad, and I'll say that, and of his talents. But, there became a time where I'm a small production company and promotional company. And it was like, hey, man, if I can sign you with Golden Boy, we can get you on TV right away. And he did. Man, I remember his first fight was in California. And I walk into the casino and every game is Kid Austin's face on it. And I'm like, dude, we made it, And now Tevin Farmer never been knocked down. We knock out Tevin Farmer in the first round and there it is.
Dealing with all these things that you deal with, I'm not from here, but I know that it is a big city, small town, and everybody knows everything. And how do you navigate through all that stuff that you're dealing with?
Because I don't give a fuck. I've got more haters in my own city than I do around the entire world. And that's fake ass haters. Like, people, well, Cameron gets to do all this stuff. Yeah, I brought up the boxer since he was 17 years old and got him a nationwide contract with Golden Boy and got him on TV. I built Rockstar Energy and, Hell on Wheels and, did stuff with Guy Fieri, who's a friend of mine. I got to do a TV show and get paid to travel. I'm sorry that I do cool shit because I work my ass off and I provide my opportunities. I don't dick ride anybody.
Right.
If I'm friends with somebody, it's because I'm a real ass person, they're a real ass person. If they don't want to hang out with me, I'm not gonna get my feelings hurt.
Right.
Like I don't pay to play. I don't pay to have friends. Never have, never will. We all breathe the same air. We're all the same person. I've got enough people who follow me on social media who give me, and I gotta thank y'all. Y'all give me more support and y'all give me the momentum I need, man. I would love waking up to comments or messages just from people saying, hey man, I watched your stuff. Look, man, it got me energized. This is the real me. So, that's one thing that I've preached, Roberto, is I want to be the person in life that I'm portrayed to be on social media. You do a great job making me look cool on social media.
I mean, you're cool, dude.
But I want to be that person. I really want to follow Christ. I want to be a great husband. I want to be a great father. I want to be a great business owner. I just want to be an amazing person. And, even through all that we've gone through, I've never been discouraged.
Yeah.
I've always told everybody, including you, we'll make it through it. I don't know how. People don't understand my stress. You can ask my wife, man, when I was going through everything the last 4 years, I'd wake up in a pool of sweat almost every night. If it was 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, I get up and come to work because I can't go back to sleep because I'm so stressed out about things. But now all that's dissipated and I feel ready. And I'm more energized. And again, man, I told you, when I say this, I say it from the bottom of my heart, 100% legit. We have the best crew we've ever had.
Yeah. And I see it, man. Everybody works so hard and they're so talented. And you really created such a good environment for them to believe in, themselves and everything that they're doing, and it shows in their work.
Well, that's the goal. And, I'm not saying I'm not going to have to make hard decisions coming up. I mean, that's just part of being the owner and the CEO and president of a company. If people aren't pulling their weight and making the money and doing the work that's going to equate to them getting a paycheck, then you got to make tough decisions. And that's just the 100% honesty. Like, I get to work on time every day. I've never, ever let alcohol or anything impede my work, not let me get to work or anything like that. I work until all my work's done. Like, there's nights that I don't leave here until 9, 10, 11 o'clock. I'm trying to do a better job to balance that, but the great part of having the gym here is at 5 o'clock, my kids come and train. I can look out my window and watch my kids train, go give them a hug, and then we're done at 6:30. They're like, Dad, your ass is coming home. My wife's like, come on. And so, obviously Casey wrecked my car last week. So, we're kind of riding together until I get my car. She's okay. She's okay.
Yeah.
And she's going to kill me for saying that on camera. But
What do you feel is special about Cruising Kitchens and what you guys do compared to everybody else here in the city doing this kind of work?
Cruising Kitchens is the pioneer of mobile assets. And that's just the truth. People are like, hey man, did you do what so-and-so did? No. Just like I don't read the media, I don't look at other builder stuff because I'm going backwards. If I feel, and I truly do feel that I'm the pioneer in this industry, then why look at what other people are doing? Right. I come up with my own ideas. I've got Abel and Mario and Charles and Brian and everybody that puts their creative input in this that makes these badass vehicles. Like what we're doing is fully custom. From conceptual drawings to the, like I said, to the build, to the electrical, plumbing, to the gas, the exterior wrap, it's all done in-house. Right. So I don't think there's many companies out there that's truly doing the entire process, which allows us to do it, do it in a faster time, but not sacrifice any quality.
And what would you want to change in this industry that you're trying to make different, that you see that's an issue that you feel like you can solve?
I've put a big push for years for there to be a 1 permit per state. And Texas is finally doing that in July because I can build a food truck that will pass in Austin but won't pass in Houston, that will pass in Houston but won't pass in Dallas. That's stupid, And so I've been pushing for that. And the next is I'm pushing for the regulatory, officials to do the same thing with liquid propane and fire suppression systems. And everybody's like, God, they're making us put in a $4,000 fire suppression system. Well, no shit. Yeah. A food truck's a ticking time bomb if not done right. I want every truck to have fire suppression. I want there to be shut-off valves at every piece of equipment. But on the modular side, I'm bringing a whole new game. I love to design. I mean, it keeps me up at night. You can ask my wife. Like, I love the industrial build side of things. I get to design some of the cool stuff with Charles and on the mobile side. I mean, we're building some crazy stuff right now. We're designing some even wilder stuff. I mean, golf courses, restaurants, retail chains, hotels, apartment complexes, all are follow under the industrialized build. So look, y'all wait until you see some stuff we start coming out with.
What advice would you give to someone that's starting in this industry? What advice would you give them as far as, starting up a business like this?
Get ready, because it's not going to be a 40-hour job. Try to do as much as you can in-house because people post-pandemic just suck. In the way of contractors. I mean, we're lucky to have a really good contracting arm through Edgar that we can use on construction projects, but it's maintain quality. Don't sacrifice that because no matter, you can drive a higher profit on it, but if the quality's not there and you're not warranting your product, then you're not gonna have repeat clients. I mean, almost all my clients are repeat clients. And lead by example. Yeah. If you're gonna ask people to do something, I have never, ever asked anybody to do something I haven't done or won't do. I'm out there sweeping the floors. Man, I wear a lot of hats. I mean, this is my $17 hat from Market Square. Nobody believes me. They're $17 at Market Square, and yes, I like them, and I wear them all the time, thanks. But look, man, I'm on the floor. I'm doing a quote. I'm in a meeting. I'm sweeping the floor. I'm stocking the parts room. I'm stopping the nutrition room. I'm sweeping parking lot. I'm out in the boxing gym putting weights up. Like, dude, I just have to stay busy. Yeah, well, it makes everybody else want to do it too, man. I see you going, and it makes me want to be like, am I doing everything I need to be doing today, or that I can be doing today? And it's like you see it and you feel it, and you want to be like on it. I tell my crews every time we meet, attitudes are contagious, and I love every one of them, and I mean it. Yeah. And attitudes are contagious. You have one bad seed, and it's gonna spoil the entire fruit. Yeah. And so, man, I do. I work my ass off. Nobody's gonna work as hard as me, and I understand that. We decided to do the Built for the Hustle, and this is the Built for the Hustle podcast that we're gonna start, doing as well every week. But we have been filming every day and showing your everyday online. What do you think that people will get out of that by watching that? Get to see truly who I am. Yeah. And get to see that I am the person that I'm portrayed to be on social media. I don't have people do the work for me and take credit for it. When my guys build something, I let people know that they build it. And that's what I want people to see through Built for the Hustle, is that I do have the best crew. We build the coolest units out there in the world, whether it's the mobile side or the modular side. We do have an event at everything, whether it's Super Bowl, World Cup, Wimbledon, or any of that. Like a PGA golf tour, something we built is usually always there. I want people to see that I have an amazing work family. I have an amazing family at home. There's a tattoo on my arm that says, without family, I'm nothing. That's how I live my life. I want people to see that I'm a real person. But man, just like you, I go through ups and downs. And I tell people this all the time, man, I've gone through more than anybody I ever know. I do more usually by 12 o'clock than most people do in a day. But I absolutely love what I do. And if you're not happy doing what you do, make the fucking change. Yeah. So I tell people, if you're not happy working here, you can go somewhere else, go. But like I also say, the grass is greener on the other side, so you have to mow that bitch with a weed eater. And I'm not saying people that have left haven't been successful, but it's very hard to be as successful as you are here when you have everything that we have under one umbrella.
What's the next big thing coming down the pipeline?
Got a lot. First is the shop. The shop's almost done. It's going to be bad. When we have a Jumbotron in our manufacturing facility, the industrialized build. I can't say who, but it's one of the most prestigious golf courses in the world. We're building a really cool build for them. I got some insane mobile builds. I'm doing a 2-container build for the U.S. Army for Halcoa in Hawaii. So, man, and then Kid Austin. He's fighting as the main event, April 11th, right here in San Antonio at the AT&T Center. Man, we got a lot. I'm pumped. You know, Casey's been spending a lot more time at the office, which is great. Mario's killing it. Camaro Media's doing great. You know, we're firing on all cylinders right now. I got a lot to be excited about. And that's what gets me up every single day is, man, I'm a blessed man.
Well, I think that's, do we get a haircut now? Or
I think so.
Is that what we're doing? Yeah. But this
We'll
is
save
great.
that for the real podcast.
For the real podcast, for the episode 1 or episode 2. But this has been great. I think this is going to be great for people to see what I see, and that's your intense work ethic, your team's intense work ethic, and all the amazing builds that you do. And the Built for the Hustle podcast and the Built for the Hustle social media pages will show that. And I think everyone will be entertained all day long.
I think they'll see that it truly is a lot of hours.
Yeah.
What we love, we do, we have fun doing it, you know? And the first guest is awesome.
Yes.
They're a boss. It's probably going to be unexpected for you, but that's what makes it even better. But I'm not going to tell you who it is, so you have to watch the first podcast to actually see who the first guest is. But look, I love you guys. Thanks for all the support. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's do it. Awesome.
That was good.
Man.
That was fun.
Yeah.